In this episode, there's the threat of an explosive fusion on the line. Hey there, my name is Rex, episode 71 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, still at Goha, and I just love this place as a setting. I love seeing all the characters running around doing whatever they're doing. It's just a cool place. But right now we're following Mimi as, she's actually got a job back at Goha. Not her old job, but a job, as now she's in the Gohanium division, which is underground. We've heard of Gohanium before, again, that the whole, the weird special metal, I guess, that is on the earth, and that certain things are made out of. Maybe eventually we'll learn a little more about that, but for now, Mimi is working on a lot of the spreadsheets there, not doing any of the actual weird explosive experiments that are going on in this division, but doing a lot of the computer work. It's apparently tough work, though, and as she goes on a lunch break, one interesting thing, though, while she's out, she stumbles across Yuga in a call with some of the other siblings, right? Well, and now we see Mimi kind of start to put things together. She's like, there's something about them all together. And so now we're kind of seeing maybe now she's at least picking up on the whole thing of Yuga being the sixth sibling. And which of course is something, we've all been thinking for a while. Just it's very obvious just with how their names are. And even the hairstyles also. So seeing Mimi kind of pick up on this, I don't know whether that's a red flag or not, because she's the one who was like, oh, I know who it is. I know who the other sibling is. It's Swirly, and it wasn't Swirly. Unless, this is her redemption that, she's actually going to figure it out this time. But she doesn't have a lot of time to think about it as she heads to the cafeteria for lunch and gets some food, although doesn't get Roman's food, which, of course, is... very scary looking. I mean, it tastes good, right? People liked it. People like the drag ear curry. But she's got, her two curries, the drag ear curry and the prima guitarna curry, which, but everyone's scared of it. Even all the robot chef employees that are there alongside her, they're just letting her make it. And so here's where the conflict of the episode comes in, as Roman approaches Mimi and is basically saying, hey, why didn't you get my food, the food that I made? And instead, challenges her to a duel, saying, if I win, you have to try my curry and you have to mix both of them, which supposedly could be catastrophic, as the head chef steps in and is like, you gotta duel her, you've gotta beat her, and adds the caveat of, and if Mimi wins, your curry's off the menu. I love this part, though, because the reason being is there was a company-wide email from Gakuto saying, hey, the curry that's in the cafeteria, do not mix it. It could explode. And the funny thing is, Gakuto knows that, and this is his job now, basically, keeping everything safe. And I love that he sends a company-wide email. I'm guessing Roman didn't get it, though, but just saying, hey, don't mix the curry. That's his friend there, but which makes it even funnier. Because they're friends, he knows. So I mean, it's just hilarious. It's more of a funny episode. But the duel begins, and they're actually conducting it in the Gohanium Division's lab, or one of their test areas that's explosion proof, has reinforced glass. And in case anything happens, they even put the curry in there. It's hilarious, too. Everyone's watching, the Gohanium people, the chef people, of course, Luke, and Yuga Gakuto. It's great. But the duel begins, and we see Mimi's deck again. It seems like she's got some new monsters, though. They're still, classic monsters just kind of redone, which is one thing I like about her deck. But they're all kind of food-based, and they're all water attribute, which that actually does come into it later. Roman's turn. Roman summons out Prima Guitarna and one of her newer monsters, Psy Pickupper, which is, a pretty interesting monster. So she's got those two there, is able to power them up, attack over Mimi's monsters, and that's her turn. Although, while shifting over into turns, two pieces of the curry, or two drops of the curry collide with each other, explode, breaks the glass. And so we see just how insane this explosion could potentially be. I mean, we've seen what one curry could do alone. So mixing them together could be catastrophic, which is, I just love that this is just kind of a plot line that's carrying through the show. But on to Mimi's turn. She summons a new monster, a new form of the Dainketo, which is, Dainketo, the kitchen master, which is pretty funny. Having more of these, again, these monsters or cards that are just kind of redone from older monsters, but in an adult-ish setting. So I guess now the theme is, cooking or, being the mom, which again, you got mom's cooking, which is Mimi versus Roman, the new age, the explosive flavors. It's hilarious. But this monster's got an interesting effect. Send the top 3 cards from the deck to the graveyard. And she happens to send 3 water attribute monsters, and so then she gains 3,000 life points back. And, again, plays into a lot of the Dainketo stuff. And then, she also has a card that would, she takes the attack points of Roman's monsters on her field as damage, and then destroys those monsters. So that also plays into the whole, gain a lot of life points, so that I can use this effect to pay the life points to destroy the monsters. So pretty neat. And then she attacks Roman, directly, but Roman's able to survive with a trap card. It's pretty neat there. Now on Roman's turn, she brings back Side Picker, or Side Pick Upper, summons it, and has Candy. And now the big shock, the big surprise, she's got a fusion spell, uses it, and she summons her brand new fusion monster, which is Candy Live. And I really like this, though, that it's like a redone version of Candy, because we've kind of seen that before. And I like that, this kind of being one of her main monsters. And so this monster is able to win her the duel, because also earlier in that turn, she was able to loop the blue medicine before, which we've seen that before, the blue medicine loop, to regain some of her life points. And then now she can use Candy Live's effect, which I think is a pretty neat effect also. She pays 2,000 life points, and then all monsters on her opponent's field lose 3,000. Which, at this point, Dainketo was pumped up. So that brings Dainketo low enough in order for Candy Live to attack over her. So pretty nice. I'm really liking all the fusion monsters here. And again, there's not a whole lot of... Okay, there's a lot of fanfare, obviously, when they summon them. But it's all kind of like a surprise because, it was established that all the fusion spells had fallen to the earth and, potentially anybody could have them. And we see, literally anybody could have them. So it's all a surprise. So I just kind of think that's neat. And it kind of seems like, that's a lot of what this arc is doing. A lot of this arc is setting up just everybody getting fusion monsters again. Gakuto summoning his new fusion monster, Roman getting hers, and then Yuga getting a brand new maximum monster, as we saw in last episode. So that's kind of where it's going. But after the duel, we kind of see where things are continuing to pick up as well. As since Roman won, she's got to eat the curry, but I like the way that they just kind of get rid of it instead, is that the scientists are just like, oh shoot, don't mind if we do, can we take it all? And they just take it all because they're fascinated by it having explosive powers. It's amazing. Which honestly, that's probably where Roman should be instead, making whatever they're making for research purposes. But eventually all of it's just kind of gone because Luke sneaks in and eats it all anyway. So there's that. But I like that, it was more a funny episode, but I do like that we're, again, getting to see Mimi duel again, getting to see Roman duel again, and again, the new monster, right, the new fusion monster. And it seems like we're setting up a little more for some other answers, because now, of course, after Mimi's actually eaten lunch and all this is done with, she remembers the whole, like, there's some sort of connection going on with Yuga, Yuran, Yudan, Yujin, all of them. So, again, the whole thing of, like, if Mimi's the one picking up on it, will it end up being true? So we'll have to see where that goes. But I do also think that, okay, really, if that's how it's all going to connect, because, they've all been at Goha now, because now's the time for Yuga to get closer with the other Goha siblings, for him to get to know them better. And, he's already an employee at Goha, which, like we established, that's exactly what Yua wanted. So probably this arc is going to be working toward that also. Again, there was a lot of, like, setting things up, like, okay, here's everybody with all their new monsters, here's everybody established in their new jobs here at Goha, which I'm thinking they'll probably be in these jobs past this arc, because, with how much, again, setting up they're doing here, and next episode it looks like we're focusing on Luke as well. So if we're doing that much to set them up as these new employees at Goha, they'll probably be here for a while. It's probably not going to be a thing of like, oh, by the end of this arc, right, 13 episodes afterwards, all right, cool, you guys are done, you don't have a job here anymore. Which I really honestly like. I think that was a great idea to kind of change up that setting in that way, because it's something, something different, something new, something fun. So I'm liking that so far. But yeah, again, for now, it looks like we're setting up all the fusion monsters, brand new maximum, and then probably we'll start working toward the sixth sibling. And again, whatever Ladybug Girl was doing, she'll probably come back. But again, just the fact that she knows about Yuga's past, or knew Yuga before, that could also probably end up connecting into the whole, like, Goha sibling thing. So we'll have to see how that all goes. But that's the episode. It was a fun one. And let me know what you think in the comments below about where things are probably going to be going with this arc and your thoughts. And again, your whole thought, since it's on everybody's minds now, the sixth sibling, what do you think? Yeah, at this point, okay. Again, they keep throwing us for a loop because it's like, well, Mimi got the Swirly prediction wrong. So is she wrong about Yuga? I'm going to stick with it's probably Yuga. Hopefully, maybe, but we'll have to see. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to show your support, and enable notifications. I'll make sure you see each new video as it comes out. But anyway, this has been Rex. Have a nice day.